The 24 Hours of Le Mans, over 90 years of history, and what started in 1923 as a provincial road race designed to test and improve the cars of the period that has risen to the very pinnacle of motorsport. From disc brakes over windshield wipers to turbo engines and diesel power, new technologies were tested and all have proved their performances in the toughest endurance race in the world.
Le Mans, of course, in endurance racing is very, very important, and is the most traditional part of endurance racing.
Le Mans and Shell have a very strong partnership.
In the Le Mans race with V-Power diesel, and I remember the first one with V-Power diesel made out of GTL, gas to liquid technology, 100%, won a Le Mans race, which was the first ever. Now that technology went into our V-Power diesel technology and clearly helping our consumers and customers to get the most of their cars.
This year, Shell has become the official fuel partner for the FIA World Endurance Championship.
We are here in Germany, in Hamburg, in Shell's Research and Technology Center. Here we do all the fuels and lubricants development for the world, but especially also all the motorsport. So let's have a look inside and we walk in there. Come with me. In Le Mans, it started a long time ago. Shell has been involved over decades with different teams, and we see some of the examples over here through all the famous wins we gained with Porsche, with Matra, and then the Audi area. So therefore glad to be now the fuels partner for ACO, moving ahead and supplying all the race fuels, all the gasoline and all the diesel fuel to all the teams in Le Mans, but also World Endurance Championship. Lead, which was used as an octane enhancer, is not allowed anymore today because it damaged the catalysts in our road cars. So therefore some components had to leave the fuel, other components came into the fuels. Therefore the fuels changed a lot over the years, and especially in motorsport.
Now that we know more about the history of Shell and Le Mans, let's meet the people that are behind
scientists
the
working
technology.
here. Half of them are chemists, half of them are engineers. And here we have lots of engines where we test chemical laboratories, but also the fuels blending, where we blend all the motorsport fuels, the race fuels for the Le Mans 24 Hour, for all the teams. So every diesel car, every petrol car, gasoline car will be filled with these race fuels we do here.
Diesel or gasoline, we know that all the fuels are not the same. But why? Basically, what is fuel?
All fuels are produced from refinery components. That means from crude oil, then refined, and then there are different components in the refinery. We mix them together exactly to the right specification, which is for the race fuels also defined by FIA ACO, but especially very important for endurance races, the energy content per volume, per liter you refuel in the race car.
Now the latest trends in motorsport are all about energy, efficiency and performance.
Important in terms of energy efficiency is to get the right combination between fuels and the engine. Nowadays you can win if it's Formula 1 or endurance racing, you can only win if the energy efficiency versus performance challenge is right. You need to get this right.
And that's why they have already achieved a huge amount in Le Mans. Shell and Audi developed the first ever diesel racing car to win Le Mans in 2006, and they repeated it in 2007 and 08.
2006 was a great achievement when first time ever professional diesel technology won Le Mans, and it's a success since then. And it was possible because of the right fuel from Shell, together with the right engine designer and companies behind like Audi, and of course the trust of an organization like the ACO. It was a success. It changed motorsport history.
The challenge is always the same, that you have to make a reliable and a competitive engine. And this always requires a lot of development work, very proper long distance tests, endurance tests on the test bench and in the car. And so the challenge didn't change from the first time in 2006 until now.
This year at Le Mans there are 53 gasoline entries against the 3 diesel-powered Audi LMP1 cars. Fuel is one of the key areas of the new regulations in 2014. The entrants have to reduce their consumption by up to 30%. They all have the same supplier to achieve this goal, whether it is a question of gasoline or diesel power units.
%30 reduction without compromise on performance of the cars, that's not easy to achieve. And regarding fuel quality and fuel components is one element, but also fuel properties in order to enable new engine design is the second element. And of course, energy recovery is very important to really come to an efficiency figure of -30%.
Of course, it was a massive challenge. It has been 3 years work with many technical studies and tests. I think today we can say the race is on, the targets have been achieved, and the result is really what we expected.
It's always important to have a reliable engine. If you just make it for 1 hour efficient, it's not the target to win Le Mans. And so it was, as every development step we are doing, a challenge to do it in the time, and I'm pretty sure that we will continue to work in this direction.
The difficult bit is to maximize the usable energy you get out of that fuel. So basically to maximize efficiency. So the whole development program is all centered around maximize efficiency of the engine, and there you look for friction, you look for combustion efficiency, so thermodynamic efficiency. Everything you do is all about efficiency.
56 cars will take part in this 82nd Le Mans 24 hours.
It's not a fuel development from Shell and then given to manufacturers. No, it's a combination of what does your new engine design need, and we will make it possible if it makes sense and if it is road relevant for the future as well.
In 2014, who is in Le Mans and who will make the most of these new challenging rules? As the official supplier of the WEC and the Le Mans 24 hours, Shell supports the race teams on site with a trackside laboratory. It allows both officials and teams to access the live data and analyse all the lubricant usage.
Shell had the difficult task to produce a fuel which satisfies very different requirements for turbocharged engine and for the naturally aspirated engine. And that's why it was difficult but also important to find a good compromise which satisfies these different requirements.
After more than 90 years of endurance racing history, Shell's customers take advantage of these ongoing innovation and development of fuel technology. This is present today, but what does the future hold?
Whether we look into electricity for the future or hydrogen is ultimately maybe the cleanest fuels for the future. So motorsport is for us very important, but also to see this involvement and evolvement of future fuels, future engines for a sustainable, cleaner mobility.
Certainly going to be staying in Formula One and NASCAR, in IndyCar, in MotoGP, and now in the WEC Championship. So you can see it's an ever-widening opportunity for us. We're very privileged that we can be the supplier of WEC and the Le Mans race this year.
Le Mans is a magical race, a sprint over 24 hours, and it's time to write a new chapter.